During a board meeting in late July, a decision was made to start the school year entirely virtual. That's why one group of protesters tells us they were surprised by the change of plans and are now asking the board to reconsider. There are some false claims circulating on social media that more votes were cast than there are registered voters in our state. The WEC says that is simply not true. Plus, Wisconsin allows same-day registration. The Fort Atkinson Fire Chief Daryl Roush said that they've used up so much water, they're actually going to start holding off and letting this fire burn. We want to take you to the sky here and show you just how dark and thick this smoke still is. Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett was one of the first local leaders to condemn the violence on Capitol Hill. He tells us it brought him back to the 5 terms he served in the U.S. Congress before being elected here in Milwaukee. Masks will not be required, and since the fair takes place on 200 acres of land, attendance won't be limited. When taking to social media about these tragic accidents, Sheriff Schmidt encourages the community to be mindful and for your comments to reflect what you would say to your own loved one. A 19-page legal brief filed against the city of Milwaukee and the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners claims the FPC prejudged Morales' performance and denied him a fair hearing. Meantime, this is the same area that 3 people were shot and injured early yesterday morning when Game 6 celebrations continued for hours. If you have any information, you're asked to contact Milwaukee Police. Reporting live near Water in Juneau, Kasey, CHRONIS, Fox 6 News.
Okay, Kasey.
2 people
going at it for
braving the cold. Good for them.
Keeping their social distance.
Absolutely, even on the ice. One of them did just fall a little while ago there. He got up though, he's okay. We're learning new information about a shooting in Racine that left 3 people injured. Now to our other big story at 9, a 23-year-old woman shot and killed inside a vehicle near 49th and Capitol. Millions of Americans are losing their unemployment benefits starting today. 3 federal aid programs created to help people get through the pandemic are coming to an end. Brett, thank you. Well, many are enjoying Labor Day off and couldn't have asked for better weather. Airbnb has just released their top destinations for the season. New York City topping the list, followed by Chicago and Boston. Washington, D.C. and Cincinnati, Ohio wrap up the top 5. Airbnb says people are beginning to take longer trips and are returning to a mix of large and mid-size urban destinations. 8 of those shootings unfolded today, several of them happening in broad daylight. While police work to piece the details together, the leader of one local organization is inspiring change.
This is not who Milwaukee should be.
From one scene to the next, round-the-clock shootings across the city have left several dead and many others injured.
My heart, my thoughts and prayers go out to the families.
8 shootings between Sunday morning and afternoon alone pepper a map of the city. Near 21st and Galena, a 23-year-old woman was shot and killed just before 1 o'clock. Neighbors and relatives visibly shaken. Later in the afternoon, neighbors say a block party came to a sudden halt when gunshots rang out near 26th and Burleigh.
Right now, it's all hands on deck.
Charlene Moore, co-founder and executive director of Urban Underground, says the time is now for everyone to step up and create positive change.
This is an opportunity for us here in Milwaukee to be able to change the narrative of what this city really is.
She is urging Milwaukeeans to check on your neighbors and play even a small part in building safer and healthier communities.
We need to start asking our community, what is it that they need? And then after that, we really have to start saying, okay, I hear you, here are resources so that we can support. We can change this.
And late tonight, Milwaukee police confirmed 2 people were shot during that block party we mentioned near 26th and Burleigh. A 35-year-old man and a 47-year-old woman were injured. They are expected to survive. Meantime, police say there were 4 shootings on Friday and 5 yesterday. Reporting live in Milwaukee, Kasey, CHRONIS, Fox 6 News.
Kasey.
The Kenosha Area Business Alliance reports that more than 80 businesses were affected by last summer's unrest, adding up to roughly $30 million in property damage. This summer, boards are still up and business owners are reflecting on the last year.
That day, everything changed.
Just a few weeks after celebrating the reopening of Uptown Restaurant near 40th and 75th, Yolanda Hernandez is reminded of the not-too-distant past.
I was in shock.
1 year ago on Monday, Jacob Blake was shot 7 times by Kenosha police officer Rustin Shesky, sparking several days of protest and nights of unrest.
In my mind, I say, it is going to get burned.
The next day, Hernandez's business, originally located near 22nd and 61st, was burned to the ground.
It was very heartbreaking because you work for this and you are there every day.
With it, La Estrella supermarket was destroyed.
And this neighborhood really needs a grocery store.
Its owner, Abel Alejo, is still working to rebuild and hopes to regrow his market in the same location soon.
We have to work together to be able to move forward to a better future.
After months of searching for a new space, Hernandez is back on her feet.
We have to thank the community that they have been supporting us.
So is Scott Carpenter and his family. We watched on Facebook Live as their store, B&L Office Furniture, was set on fire last summer.
You're just watching your business, what you've been doing for the last 40 years, just being destroyed. Oh, it just gives me goosebumps thinking about it.
Originally located near 11th and 60th, Carpenter's new store opened last fall near 77th Avenue and 75th Street. Just another example of the resilience in this city.
It's what you do. It's your livelihood. You get knocked down, you get back up and go right at it again.
A mixed-use development has been proposed for this location. It's where Uptown Restaurant and that supermarket were located, called Uptown Lofts. If approved, it would include more than 100 affordable housing units and Alejo's new grocery store. Reporting live in Kenosha, Kasey, CHRONIS, Fox 6 News. One of the men killed was a retired teacher who families say devoted his life to helping others. Tonight, we're learning from his son that in those terrifying moments in his home, he put himself in front of that suspect, giving his wife the chance to live.
Had my dad not intervened, she would have been next.
Rhett Engelking recounts his father's selfless acts just before he was tragically killed in a random home invasion last Wednesday.
The perpetrator arrived at my parents' house, demanding keys to the car, which my mother gave without hesitation.
Rhett says the perpetrator, 30-year-old Nicholas Pingle from West Bend, couldn't start the couple's push-to-start car and returned. That's when his father took action.
Engaged in a physical struggle, and my mom witnessed him shoot my father.
Rhett says his mom hid. Pingle left, encountering 77-year-old Carl Halverson at a nearby home, who authorities say he also shot and killed. The Wisconsin DOJ on Tuesday confirming Pingle then exchanged gunfire with Washington County Sheriff's officials and was killed by a deputy.
My coping of it is really just understanding that, there's violence in society and we do no good in completely ignoring it, because it'll come to our doorstep, like it came to my parents' doorstep.
Rhett, one of 3 brothers, says it's not how their father died that he should be remembered, but how he lived. Ray Engelking was a devoted husband, father, and grandfather, a coach, and a West Bend West High School economics teacher for more than 35 years, where his impact exceeded his classroom.
He had a lot of students, but he made sure to know all of them by name, was drawn to kids who were at risk.
Now, Rhett and his family hope to carry on their father's legacy by helping students at risk of not graduating with the Ray Engelking Memorial Scholarship Fund.
It's just our way of trying to listen to what we're hearing in our community and do some good.
And we have a link to that memorial fund on fox6now.com. Meantime, Washington County Sheriff's Deputy Lee Goodman, who shot the suspect, has been placed on administrative leave pending investigation. Reporting live in Brown Deer, Kasey, CHRONIS, Fox 6 News.